Hey, what's going on? One Truth here, and I got before you Star Wars Battlefront II. Not the one that was released in the early 2000s, but the one DICE is working on that is scheduled to be released here in November. So, what did DICE do with this game compared to Battlefront 1 that was released in 2015 that really makes this game stand out and what's really worth your money? So if you take the time to watch the video, you can make an educated opinion on whether or not you would like to spend your hard-earned cash on this game or not. So after all, this is your life, this is your money, your decision. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll be glad to share the information with you. Alright, so Battlefront 1 in 2015 was considered a flop, actually. Even though there was a lot of information, a lot of just gameplay. They brought in a lot of stuff from Battlefield into Battlefront, and it just wasn't, it didn't have that feeling from the original Battlefronts that we grew up with as a kid. We absolutely loved the first two Battlefronts. We grew up on that and played it countless hours. Like, I remember playing that just randomly, just join a game, just play as much as I can, and didn't really care. I would sink hours into that game. With the other one, I played the beta, and that was enough for me to know that Battlefront 1 that was released in 2015 was not going to be good. It felt too much like Battlefield and not enough like Battlefront. It was Battlefield with a Star Wars skin on it. However, they did do some really good things. What they ended up doing, looking at it in a modeling perspective, and you can see it through the graphics itself, and even now as you look, take a look, you can really see it. They took toys like the Star Wars action figures and some of the Star Wars props and took pictures of them and incorporated the models into the game to really give that personal, unique experience from the movies and make a aesthetically pleasing game. So that's what they did good with Battlefront 1. Now, it's Battlefront 2, and you're thinking, why would I spend my money on that? If 1 was bad and didn't feel like Star Wars Battlefront 2, or excuse me, didn't feel like Star Wars Battlefront, why would I purchase that? Well, after playing the beta, I can honestly say that I would buy this game. And there's a few reasons. One, they got rid of a lot of the... It just doesn't feel like Battlefield with a Star Wars skin on it anymore. They incorporated space battles. They added a lot of things. However, there's still some Battlefield-ish things into the game. Like, for example, you get battle points for doing activities and get kills and stuff. And it's like a kill streak. Eventually you can spawn in as a hero. Whatever. Okay. Another thing is these crates. And we all know how the gaming industry is now with microtransactions, and this is going to be one of those things. Please, DICE, if you watch this video, don't do it, but I know you're going to do it anyways. But you get these little points or credits that you get per match right here. This right here is meant for weapon upgrades and card upgrades. I'm not too sure what that is yet, but it's still the beta. But you probably are going to see those being sold as microtransactions in the future, which has that Battlefield-ish feel. Now, they still did the same idea with the models, and probably has some of the best graphics out of any game I've seen, period. It beats Doom. When Doom was released, Doom was supposed to be the next big graphically aesthetic game. This one beats it by a long shot, and I'm playing on Ultra right now at 100 frames, you can see on the top right. I absolutely love it. So the gameplay mechanics, they're interesting. They still incorporated some of the Battlefront 1 from 2015, but it's a little different. 4 classes, as you can expect from Battlefield and Battlefront, but they changed them up. From Battlefront, the original Battlefront series in the early 2000s had a sniper class. This is a specialist class. We have officer, heavy, and assault. What DICE ended up incorporating is the card system, so they're like abilities. You can assign keybinds on PC to do whatever you want with them, and controller, I don't know, I think it's like X, Y, and B for your keybinds, something dumb. But, thing about it is, you, like this, thermal detonator, they're all based off that class itself, and there's cards that complement that class, and these can be changed out. Thermal detonator is your starter. You have a shotgun and a scan dart, which is kind of like the M320 from Battlefield 4, where you can fire it. Hopefully that's incorporated with the explosive round. That's what I would really want to see. Fire that into a crowd of people with an explosive round. The shotgun and the thermal detonator. The thing about these are abilities, quote unquote, and have cooldowns or refresh rates. Some of the things that DICE did incorporate is emotes and victory poses, which are probably going to be with the microtransactions in the near future, which, whatever. You got to make money somehow. Honestly, we would pay more for a game if it came out completed and didn't have microtransactions. Honestly, we would. I know I would. If it had a good game that had no bugs, no nothing, I would probably spend easily up to $120. But I wouldn't buy as many games over the time frame of a year. I'd probably get 1 or 2 and call it even. But that's just, I'm a completionist, and when I stick to a game, I want to stick to it. And I don't care about microtransactions. Moving over to the heavy, and I'm sorry for that tangent. I changed out my grenade to a detonator charge, so it's like C4, just throw it and blow it up. This right here, I just messing around with it. I didn't know. I've got this as a card, so it changed the original purpose of it. The original one is you fire up this spool on your minigun and have unlimited rounds until the ability runs out. But this one now makes it an explosive charge. Now, combat shield. Combat shield could be really effective. The heavies, they're meant to be up close and personal. They can't really shoot from any distance farther than 25 meters. They can't deal with, and unfortunately, this is just the way it is. But the combat shield gives you a significant advantage in close quarter combat, because you can turn a corner and get face to face from somebody from 5 to 25 meters, pop the combat shield, and automatically 80% of your body's covered, and you can lay down rounds while protecting yourself, and he's forced to shoot at your feet. Ultimately, you're doing more damage. But that's why I like the heavy. Officer. I hadn't really played with the officer much, as you can see, but the officer has 3 abilities. Flash grenade, whatever. Battle command strike. So with your fire team or your squad, when you activate that, here you can just read it. Gives them unlimited weapon cooling to yourself and nearby allies for a limited time. And then you get a blaster turret, which is a sentry gun that you can place up that can be destroyed, obviously. So weapon-wise, normal blaster, like a minigun, a pistol, and back on the sniper guy, the specialist, which is a blaster with a scope on it that doesn't really do as much damage as a sniper should. And you can pick weapons later on. These are only limited right now in the beta. Alright, this one, shot grenade. The infiltrator, that's an amazing perk, and I honestly think the specialist class is broken and definitely needs to be addressed before release. The infiltrator, when you pop it, you immediately go invisible on the map, and it shows all the enemies in a proximity of 25 meters, their locations on the radar, and it pulls out a pistol that's a burst fire pistol that does a lot of damage. With this passive, or this card I have on, when I kill somebody, it automatically gives me more ammo and more time with that ability. So it's really powerful, and I love it. And then thermal binoculars, which you can see heat signatures through objects, buildings, and walls up to, I think, about 25 meters. It's kind of cheating overall with the specialist class, but it's kind of broken. So with battle points, as you do things, get kill streaks, participate in the fight itself, you get points, and eventually you're awarded kill streaks. So like Enforcer, Aerial, Gunships, like lore-based items will be incorporated in the map. Like, look at these. So you can eventually spawn in as a hero, and they're bringing in that Battlefront feel from all of the Battlefronts. And then we have space battles. Space battles took a little bit of getting used to because I played Battlefront and Battlefields primarily on console, and it wasn't up till 3 years ago before I built my own PC. So I'm still getting used to flying on keyboard. So that pretty much covers that information through collections, and covers a lot of information. So without further ado, I'd like to show you guys the footage itself, and then we can have a debrief and discuss whether or not you should buy that game. So here's a clip I actually found in one of my archives that I recorded last night. So enjoy it.
Going dark.
So I've tried recording several times in vain gameplay footage, and I apologize that I've not been able to get that into this video. However, I will be streaming, and hopefully that works and you can reference that in real time or through a recording. Alright, so debrief. What do I think of the game? I've logged in easily 30 hours since yesterday, and I absolutely enjoy the game. I have to admit I do. It feels like the original Battlefront series for the most part, with a little Battlefield added onto it. It doesn't feel like Battlefield with a Star Wars skin. There are some stuff that it reminds me of Battlefield, but overall this is a nice experience, especially in space battles. So what do I give it? Graphically, it's amazing. Mechanics, amazing. I absolutely love it. Maps, I've not really been able to see a lot of maps. They did release a campaign, but you're not able to play it until the release in November. So through the beta, the multiplayer, I would give the multiplayer an 8 out of 10. I highly recommend this game, and if you guys want, I would definitely purchase it in November. Alright, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hey, what's up guys? If you like what you saw, you can click right here and subscribe. There are plenty more content to come. Also, you can click right here and check out my latest video. So thank you guys for watching.